Lance, unmute, and where are you? Unmute. Okay, guess we will begin. So, Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending. Thank you for being here. I am Christine Alciolo. I am a franchise specialist with FranNet. Thank you all for attending our webinar this evening. We have two presenters that are going to explain about two businesses that you will be able to launch while working and run them remotely. But before they begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about FranNet and some franchising facts. And why aren't you changing? Okay. Who is FranNet? FranNet has been around for over 28 years. We have over 80 offices, 3 in Germany, and we just opened 1 in England. We help potential entrepreneurs find a franchise that fits their profile at no cost to them. And I can't. Okay. Many people are here looking for a business that can thrive at any economy. I get asked all the time, what is the most popular franchise? So we are looking for those few businesses that can thrive now and down the road. Right now we see healthcare and senior care markets as one of the strongest markets out there. Census data that goes out every 3 years says that 25% of the population is over 65 and 25% is under 25. There's your residential repair. People aren't buying new homes. They're repairing the covered ones. Old people can't. Young people don't know how. There's dual income households, and they don't have the time. Then there's also child development and education, also driven by demographics. Then there is your essential services like your hair care. You have your supercuts who charge $15 for a haircut, or your automotive. People are fixing up their cars and keeping them longer. There's your damage restoration. Houses get damaged, mold, smoke, damage, fire. When this happens, someone needs to clean it up. Homeowners call the insurance company. There's also business centers and IT services, all to help develop small businesses. Some of these businesses also can be done semi-absentee. And not moving. Okay. Franchising isn't just your fast food and retail. Just some overall facts on franchising. There are over 3,000 different franchise companies in more than 80 industries with over 900,000 operating units. Some popular categories are pet care, cleaning, retail, and IT services. Can you make a burger? I know I can, and it would be a lot better. It's not the product. It's all about the business systems. When you purchase a franchise, you purchase the marketing, sales, and operating systems. You do this so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can also focus on building your business. Some people think franchising is very expensive. You have some that are $50,000 to $100,000, like your education and health care. These can be run from home, few employees. Then you have your $100,000 to $250,000, which would include some retail, auto, and some food. And some could go as high as $500,000, like your big food franchises, McDonald's, Burger King. Typically, you would need 25 to 30% down on the business. We do provide some financing options where you could use your 401k or get an SBA loan. At the end of the day, it's all about finding a franchise that best fits you. You want to look at your 5, 10, 15-year goals and use franchising as a tool to help you get to your lifestyle and financial goals. I'm going to wrap it up. Here's my contact info. If you would like further information on either one of these businesses, I would need you to fill out your personal franchise assessment. Then the franchisor would be able to give you further information on their business. If I already have one, I would put you in touch with the franchisor. I will be following up with everyone and emailing you the link to my assessment. Please hold your questions to the end. Now I'm going to introduce Angie as she presents our first business, which is a fast casual dine-in Neapolitan, I can't say the word, pizza. Thank you, Anne. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks very much, Christine. So my name is Angie Shaw, and I'm a franchise development manager here at Medici. So, Christine, I need to have the ability to show the slides, and right now I don't have that ability.
You can't?
Let me see if there's here. I'm clicking another button. It says register now.
Okay, we should have been able to
Something's
do
loading.
this.
Okay, it's here. It's here. I see it.
You got it?
I have one slide. Okay, so let me see where the other slides are.
If you click the bottom arrow.
There is no bottom arrow. There is no bottom arrow. I got full screen.
I'll do it.
Let's see. I got,
Just
okay. I'm now on the, was that you?
Yes, tell me when to click.
All right, so the name of our company is Medici. That means you tell me in Italian. So what we're going to begin with is what's happening in the category. It's fast casual is one of the fastest growing areas, and it's called disruptor model. These are some examples of what you guys are looking at right now that are called disruptor models. What that means is a company takes a dominant position in a category and they change the landscape of the category. Examples, Chipotle. They changed the way that we enjoy Mexican food today. Prior to Chipotle, you would have to go to a sit-down restaurant, white tablecloth, waiter, order it off the menu type of thing. But Chipotle came in and they created a customizable sequence with a better product. Look at Five Guys Burgers and Fries. They came in with a better burger and changed the landscape of that category. Same with Starbucks. So these are just examples of disruptor models, which is what we're doing here with Medici. So our parent company is called Menchie's. That's the self-serve frozen yogurt franchise. That's our parent company. We have 900 stores. We did that in 7 years, and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times both named Menchie's the world's largest self-serve frozen yogurt franchise. So a lot of the candidates that are coming on board with Medici are buying the experience, management team, and track record of Menchie's. So that's our parent company. You guys can do a lot of research on Menchie's. Medici is our new brand. It's Neapolitan pizza. You can continue clicking slides, Christine, because I don't have the ability to do it.
That was the word I couldn't say. Neapolitan. Thank you.
Neapolitan. Yes. Okay. So let me talk with you guys about what's called our positioning. This is the beginning of what's going to set us apart from everyone in this category. It's about people. That's our passion. They're at the core of everything we do. We believe that people are the best thing that can happen to anyone. You can click through, Christine.
Oh, sorry.
So with Menchie's, we wanted to make the world a smilier place. So we said our mission statement is we make you smile. Cup after cup, state after state, country after country. We wanted to make a difference in the world of franchising. So that's what we did. So going forward today, we want to make the world a friendlier place. So we've created a new brand that brings friends together. Again, that's our positioning. So there's a lot of noise out there, you guys. Everybody's on iPhones, iPads. No one's making that human connection anymore. So I'm going to lead you guys somewhere with this. When shared with a friend, a minute becomes a moment, and that moment becomes a happy memory. We believe it's these moments that people remember. It's not days, posts, and pictures. Sure, people feel much more connected today than ever with smartphones and social media, but we're asking the question, are they really connected? Do they actually know their friends, or are they just collecting them? We love today's digital world. It allows us to have a lot of connections for the people that we'd like to know, but we find ourselves missing the friends that we do know. It kind of feels like we've traded the tangible for the digital. The human touch for the touch screens, the laughs for the LOLs. And I know you guys on the phone know what I'm talking about. Everyone's like me, LOL, emoticons, right? We want to get away from that with our restaurant, with making human connections. So we made it our mission to bring friends together again. We wanted to create a place for people to meet up, sit back, and be social without the media, just to enjoy being together. That's why we have a 16-foot olive tree in our restaurant. We have communal seating. We have a sit-down living room area with a Polaroid camera where you can snap pictures of your friends and hang them up in the restaurant. So what you guys are looking at right now were our high-end graphics. It's a self-serve model where it's kind of what I call the Chipotle on the front end, where it's a customizable sequence. You come into the restaurant and you can order specific items off the menu, or you can create your own customized personal pizza. So that's what we're talking about here. You know, what can cross barriers and unite people? It's a food that everybody loves. You can click through. And it's a simple word for the happiest of foods. And it's pizza. You can click through. It behaves like a friend. It's a connector type of food. It's what we call comfort food meets party food. That's why people say, let's have a pizza party, right? It's a shared type of food. So we serve the original, with a capital N, Neapolitan pizza. Go ahead. So who are we? Let's continue. Medici Neapolitan pizza. Go ahead. So it's pronounced Medici. That means you tell me in Italian. So we are going to interact with the guests when they come into the restaurant. Medici me your pizza. Tell me what you want on it. What do we look like? Let's look at some quick pictures. So it's a sleek, high-end, social-looking place with a high-end design. We actually hired a very famous architect. Some of you guys may know. His name is Sam Marshall. Very high-end restaurants in California, actually all over the world. He's international, as well as hotels, very high-end hotels he's done. So that's a quick blueprint. What you're looking at now, let's stop on this for a second, Christine. This is a bird's eye view of what the restaurant looks like. Notice, you guys, anywhere you stand in this restaurant, you can see the heart or the showplace, which is in the center, the ovens. That's where everything happens. This is a wood fire cook. It cooks in 90 seconds. It's 1,000 degrees in that oven there. They're beautiful teardrop-shaped ovens that are imported from Italy. All of our food is non-GMO. All of our salads and everything is organic. That's a buzzword. The millennials are the biggest buying group today, and that's what they want. They want customizable, high-quality food at an affordable price. So you notice different seating venues there. We have the olive tree with communal bench seating around there. We have some high-end tables where you feel like you're at a bar. We also have a full bar. So click to the next slide and see if you can see that. So here's a better view. So when you come in, you notice all the way to the left, you will interact with the pizzaiola. That's the guy cooking your pizza, telling what you want on it. Go around with custom craft salads that are beautifully prepared and presented. I encourage everybody to check out our website, mymedici.com, and you'll see beautiful pictures. Those are our teardrop ovens, and we have a full bar with custom craft beer and wine. We have only elite coffee. We also sell products in our restaurant. We have a full line of coffee that's made for us and by us in Seattle, as well as some imported olive oils and various items such as that. You can continue on. The show is also on your plate. Let's talk about the food. Neapolitan pizza is an art form. In order to serve Neapolitan pizza, you must have a Vera certification. There are only 2 organizations that can give that, the APN and the VPN. We've hired the heads of both of those organizations for North America on our staff as executive chefs. So this is a chef-inspired menu. No one else has this in our category. So this is the way they made it 300 years ago. You can continue here. Go ahead.
That's this one?
Change. Fast. Keep going. So here, as you can see, it cooks in 90 seconds. That's part of the magic, if you will. You just put wood in that oven, and there's no buttons. It doesn't break. You just put wood in there, and that's it. The dough is stretched. That's an important thing, you guys, because we're not competing with, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's. That's delivery, takeout, and price point. A lot of their dough, well, actually all of their dough is pressed with a machine. It has fillers. It has oil and sugar in there. Ours does not. It's a fully stretched dough, which has everything to do with the quality of the product. Go ahead. Our dough is only made with 4 fine ingredients. Go ahead. 00 flour. It's called Caputo. If I have any foodies on the phone, that's the best in the world. It's pretty high end. Water. You can go through. Salt, sea salt, and yeast. That's it. That's all that's in our dough. You can click through. The garnish is all pure ingredients. Everything is non-GMO and imported. The sauce is only crushed non-GMO Italian peeled tomatoes. These tomatoes, you guys, are grown in Mount Vesuvius. If there's any foodies on the line, if you guys shop at Whole Foods, there's what's called San Marzano tomatoes in a can. That's what this is. Very high-end, high quality, delicious. Real buffalo mozzarella cheese. That's the white gold of quality in cheese. It's the best there is. Olive oil, extra virgin, imported. Here's some interesting facts. This is a proven category, you guys. Everybody eats pizza. 93% of Americans have eaten at least one pizza in the last month. Each person in the U.S. eats at least around 23 pounds per year. This is the most important. It accounts for more than 10% of all food service sales. That's a lot. It's a $40 billion industry, and I want to break that out. $20 billion, that's a huge industry. $20 billion is done by 4 companies, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, and Domino's. They are takeout and delivery and price point. We're not competing with them. It's a different animal. The other $20 billion is what I call blue ocean. It's all the individual pizza shops. It's very fragmented. There's no main competitor there, so that's where we're going to come in and take market share. We actually have created what we call white space. We have 0 competitors. If you guys want to do some research on the category, fast casual is very happening right now. Look at Blaze, Pyology. Those are some guys you can look at in fast casual, and then look at our website, and you'll see a huge difference. So what we're going for is pull demand versus push demand. What that means is we're offering something the consumer wants. We're not pushing anything. The millennials are telling us what they want. They want fast, affordable, high quality. I talked about the VPN and the APN, handcrafted ovens, coffee program. I talked about bar seating. You can continue on. We opened in June 13th, so our restaurant's only been open about 4 months. That's what it looks like on the outside. There's some really cool murals. I don't know if you can see it up close here. On the outside, you notice here in this photo, there's really beautiful plants and flower pots, very much to look like like an Italian piazza in Naples, Italy. That's the whole idea here. You can continue through. So notice here in the restaurant, we sell our own line of olive oils and coffee and so forth. That's what you guys are looking at right now. And this is the sequence. When you walk in, great, there's a line. So far, there's a line a lot. You'll see how you go around and tell them what you want on your pizza. Go ahead. You can click through. You can go through just to show these guys some of the pictures. Okay, stop. Look at this really cool venue here. Sorry. That's okay. That's okay. Go back. Because the pictures are important to really give those guys a sense. Go back, Christine.
That one?
The olive tree, it has communal seating underneath. As you can see, at night, we have the lights on it. So there's a lot of 4 different, day parts where you can get a lot of sales here that the competitors don't have. By the way, no one else has a bar in our category. So you have the lunch crowd because it cooks in 90 seconds. So you get the business lunch. You can do table turns. And then you have families and kids can come in during the day and enjoy, the product. And then at night you can take a date there. So it turns into more of an upscale kind of cool venue at night. We have really cool music that plays in the restaurant. Here what you're looking at is a communal table, so you can come and meet a bunch of friends and that type of thing. You can keep going through. So this is what it looks like at night. We have the tree lit up. It's a really cool venue. And this can be a semi-absentee model. What you're looking at now are people take photographs of themselves in the restaurant and post it of them and their friends. We keep a Polaroid camera in the restaurant so that they can snap pictures of their friends. It's all about bringing friends together. Go ahead. Just showing you the ovens. You can click through that because I want to give Lance some time too. Again, I'm trying to work with him here. So, of course, we sell branded merchandise. This is our pizza box takeout. If you don't finish your pizza, you can take it out. Our takeout coffee cups, this is our high-end graphics. I talked about this semi-absentee model with a full general manager. So you do not need any food or restaurant background to own this franchise. You will hire a general manager. That's someone coming out of like a Chipotle or Outback Steakhouse, that type of person. The model fully supports that salary. This is what the investment looks like. This investment range includes, it includes $120,000 of working capital for the first 3 months to pay a general manager while he's going through training. So that includes working capital. We're looking for anywhere from 2,500 up to 4,000 square feet. We're looking for all types of real estate. These are typically not going to be freestanding stores, but we will entertain a freestanding. But you're basically going to most likely get a lease with a landlord in a shopping center, high traffic areas. Our franchise fees are posted here, so you can see we offer a significant discount for multi-unit development, but you can certainly own one. Our royalty is 5% of net sales, and the national marketing fund is 2% of net sales, and the local marketing is 2%. Now, let's take a minute here. If you guys do the local marketing, we will rebate you back that 2% because it's what I call a forced spend. We want you to do it because it works. So basically, you're looking at 5 and 2 is what you're going to pay. Why am I showing you Five Guys Burgers and Fries again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'll tell you. Because this is the last slide. Because everyone's asking us, what's our plan? What's the future? Where are we heading? We're going to have 1,000 Medici by 2025, and we can do it because we did it with Menchie's. Five Guys Burgers and Fries is pretty much sold out, and that's what we're planning on doing as well. And we're well on our way. We've already sold 175 units in about 16 states. We're doing extremely well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andy. And now we will
Welcome.
go over to Lance. Lance, let me know if you can handle the slides or not.
I don't believe I can.
You can't either?
No. Does not look like I have access to that.
I don't know why. Okay. I will move on. Just tell me when to move over.
Sorry. I don't have too many slides. So,
Okay.
well, thank you. First of all, thanks for the opportunity to speak with some of your qualified candidates. And, again, want to express how much we appreciate our partnership with FranNet. My name is Lance Freeman. I'm the Executive Vice President for Development for St. Gregory Development Group. We're the largest development group in franchising by a pretty big gap. We have 12 brands that we are building. You'll usually see us focusing on non-food concepts like this one here with Club Pilates. We love the boutique fitness sector specifically because it's been experiencing growth of about 450% year over year for the last 5 years, and that trend is going to do nothing but continue. The big box transactional gyms just do not have an answer to it. So we like segments with a lot of growth potential. We love it if we can be in a space or category that's an early mover, where there's an educated market that we can leverage. Those always produce faster ramp-ups and great unit economics. And we love it if we don't have direct brand competitors in some of these segments. So we also love concepts that have really reasonable price points of entry to get into relative to retail. And, of course, we all love stellar unit economics. We like lifestyle brands. And then probably most importantly, we like brands that are really simple, straightforward for the franchisee to execute upon. Part of the reason why this brand is a great match for the call tonight is it's what we call an executive model, so it can be operated from an executive position or the manager, if you will. Our typical owner in this brand will own multiple units and will not really spend much of any time in the day-to-day operations. They'll be just really managing the manager and managing their business by the numbers via an internet connection. So it's a nice model. So a lot of our franchisees are executives, like those of you that are on the line and in corporate positions, C-level executives, and they will do this in parallel with their corporate position to really build a business with a reoccurring revenue stream and build a business with equity that they can scale. So that's the benefit of an opportunity like this. I want to just give you briefly here the story, kind of the backdrop on this one. It's kind of a neat story. So this brand was founded about 9 years ago by a gal by the name of Allison Beardsley. She's that true visionary entrepreneur and kind of revolutionized this Pilates space. She opened up her first Club Pilates studio about 8 years ago and was wildly successful with that studio, opened up a second, third, and fourth, and fifth studios, all highly successful. She had so much demand and interest from others that wanted to open up their own Pilates studios that she decided to, about 2.5 years ago, to franchise the model. In a 2-year span, she sold 100 units and to about 35 franchisees. Those 35 franchisees opened up their first 3 units in that first period, and then we had another 65 that were about ready to hatch. And so you can gather as an emerging franchisor and a kind of pioneer system, this got bigger than Allison very quickly. So she, credit her for kind of seeing that and understanding that it was time to bring in really a world-class franchisor that could really take the business to the next level. Started entertaining, some private equity groups, and in those discussions, she met Anthony Geisler. Anthony Geisler's background is that he founded and built the first boxing club franchise. It's called LA Boxing Club. So he really understood the value in, again, being the first mover in the space. He built a very successful franchise company with hundreds of units across the country. It was later acquired by one of the investors from 24 Hour Fitness, who we've all heard of. And when he moved on from that endeavor, he was really kind of looking at other opportunities and really saw quite a unique opportunity with Club Pilates. It was kind of a deja vu for him, if you will, in terms of seeing a concept in a space where you had a very fragmented, educated market. Pilates exists in every single DMA in the country, and it has for multiple decades, but there wasn't a brand there. So that was highly attractive to him to really be able to build another brand in a space where there was kind of a need for that. So he partnered up with Allison, made a majority purchase of the brand. But one of the attractive pieces of this one, I think, is that you have both ends of it, which is kind of rare. Usually, once there's new money that comes in, the original entrepreneur will move on. But in this case, the original entrepreneur is a minority partner. And so what's nice is she's been able to kind of fall back to her true love, which is the educational component, the cultural aspects of the brand, really helping our franchisees find, locate, hire, and train their instructors in that piece of the business. And then you bring in Anthony Geisler, who's a world-class franchisor, really in investing in the growth of the brand, adding in new systems and structure and processes. So it's really in a great position. It's going to go from about 45 operating units today to about 450 in the next 3 years based on our development growth. So pretty exciting times for the brand. So we're just really kind of getting into our nationwide rollout and scale with this one. So it's a great time to consider the brand as it's, we have pretty wide open territory in a lot of markets that we are looking at, like New Jersey market. But yet it's a very seasoned concept, and you've got an educated market. The actual industry and the landscape, thanks for flipping that, Christine. It's a huge industry, obviously, but when you think about boutique fitness in general, there's not a lot of programs fitness programs that haven't been franchised. You've got about a dozen yoga franchises out there now. You've got a half dozen what we call ballet bar concepts. You've got over a dozen kind of Orange Theory, kind of CrossFit, high intensity, high impact weight training concepts. You've got a half dozen boxing club franchises. You've got spin concepts. There's really nothing in the Pilates segment. So what we loved about this one is that, we really see Pilates as a non-fad type concept. I mean, it's a program of fitness that's been a pillar of fitness for decades, but now we can really make this really accessible to the masses. If you want to flip to the next slide, I can kind of tie into that. So really what Allison was able to do is, through her vision, as I like to say, she rewrote the playbook on Pilates. To make this simple, Pilates has been done in a reformer format for decades, but it's always really been done in a one-on-one format, or maybe a semi-private format, or in what's called a mat Pilates, which is a class format. So that's a much lower level class. And then if you're doing one-on-ones or semi-privates, you're paying $75 to $150 a class. So it's very expensive, and so it wasn't really affordable to the masses, and it was also kind of one size fits all. So Allison's vision was to really first of all, make this affordable to the masses and at a price point that everyone could do this. And then secondly, she wanted to really create this wide array of classes to where we could open this up to multiple segments, from youth to, the baby boomer segment, from moms and professionals in the middle to a vastly growing obesity epidemic in our country, to teens, to injury-related components. So the beautiful component of Pilates is that everyone can do it. And so what she did was she really kind of rewrote the playbook. She wrote a 2,000-page manual on how to do this flowing Pilates in a small group platform with 12 reformers. This had never been done before. And so that's kind of the part of the special sauce on this one. That's what's partly proprietary. No one else has this system. No one else is doing this. Certainly there's no brand doing this. This is by far the largest network of Pilates studios in the country or in the world for that matter. In addition to that, now that she could do it in a small group format, she was able to really offer it at an affordable price point of anywhere from $15 to $20 a class. So now people could do this consistently and ongoing. So it really opened up the market completely, and that's why we've had some tremendous success with the brand. If you want to flip to the next slide, that'd be great. Actually, you can go one more if you want. So this will kind of show you the inside of a Pilates studio. It's basically a 1,500 square foot rectangular box, if you will. The beauty of these things is that, first of all, you have, from a cost structure, it costs really about anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 to get into one of these units, a single unit. The reason being is that there's very little in terms of a build out. So you're basically taking a space that's in what we call vanilla shell. We're putting in wood laminate floorings, painting the walls, and then we bring our equipment in and install it in 3 days. So first thing I would mention is very minimal build out. And again, that is partly what dictates a very reasonable price point in the model to invest in this. Second thing is that it's a very fast path to opening the business. So we are averaging less than 90 days to get to a lease, and then 30 days from the time that we have a lease, we're opening the business for our soft opening. So we're validating about 4 months from the time that someone says that yes, they want to join Club Pilates Nation to opening their business. If you want to flip to the next slide, we can go to the next one there. So there's a retail component in the front half of the business and a full clothing line and other products that we sell in the business. So we have additional revenue streams in the model. If you want to go to the next slide. The core of the revenue stream, though, comes from the membership component. So we all love membership models for multiple reasons. But the beauty of this one, if you're seeing an instructor here in the middle of the screen, he's essentially teaching this class with up to 12 people at the same time. So the neat part about this model, if you think about most executive models, and I tip my hat to them all, whether it be hair care or retail massage or oil changes, I've built them all. But the thing that you have to consider is that with each of them, you have basically one employee that's performing one service on one client or car at that time. So what's neat about this model is you essentially have one technician, if you will, that is servicing up to 12 people at the same time. So what that creates is tremendous margin because you have really one key employee that's servicing what I call this inventory, if you will. So you're going to see margins from anywhere from 40 to 50% in this brand, which are highly attractive in a retail model. Typically, you're going to see 15 to 20% at best. So great margins on, a very reasonable investment. So we've got some stellar unit economics here. Now, if you flip to the next slide here, talk a little bit about the employee, and then I want to talk a little bit about some of the simple components of the business model. So another nice thing about the model is you need very, very few employees to operate the business. So a reasonable cost of entry for retail, stellar unit economics, and then you have a simple, straightforward model to execute upon here. You're going to need anywhere from 2 to 3 instructors to operate this business. Another nice thing is you have an opportunity to really attract some of the cream of the crop in terms of labor pool to come and work for you in this business model. Reason being is first of all, they're going to make a lot more money because they're making a commission structure that's incentive based on, again, teaching multiple people at once, up to 12 versus one client. So they're going to make more money. They also work a shift. So in an independent model, they might teach a class at 6 a.m. They might teach a class, then again at 11 a.m. and another one at 7 p.m. at night. It's tough to have a life that way. So for an instructor in this business, what's nice is they're going to cover a shift, and then they can go home and get on with their day and do whatever else they do. So it's really a career opportunity for them that they appreciate. There's a cultural aspect to the brand that they really identify with. And what also is attractive, again, as I mentioned earlier, we're not creating the market here. The market already exists. We're leveraging the market. And the same goes for the employee. That the employee pool already exists, and we have, really from an HR standpoint, really the most attractive business opportunity for them to come and work in. If they're working right now as a Pilates instructor, they're either working in two environments, one in the independent or one in the public gym. The public gym might have one or two class offerings a week, or in the independent, they're basically going to be on their own in terms of trying to build their clientele. Working in a brand, we have a full local studio marketing campaign that's behind them, a national ad campaign. And we also have digital and social media aspects of the business and mobile applications to help them to fill up these classes. So they love all that. You can kick the next slide there. So what I love here is, again, as I've mentioned a couple times, but I've got to say it again, is that it's so rare when you look at opportunities that you're the first mover, that you're coming in where you already have an educated market. That's highly attractive because you're going to have a much faster ramp up. With typically, as a first mover in terms of the first brand, you have to educate the market, which takes longer. So the market already exists. We're going to greatly expand on that market, though, through the marketing strategies to really broaden the segment and really appeal to people that have never tried Pilates before, that it's never been accessible to because of the price point. So a tremendous opportunity to really grow a segment here with this brand as we really scale nationally. Next slide. Now, here's what I love. The membership component is a beautiful thing, and here's why. I talked to you about simple, straightforward executive models with very few employees in a straightforward model. So here's the benefit of this business. First of all, there are no accounts receivable. Second of all, there is no cash in the business. Third of all, you're not chasing down renewals. There's no churn. There's no spoilage. You are not handling clients' scheduling needs. It is all online based. So it is an extremely simple model to execute upon. It's very technology based. The employees you have in the model are not minimum wage earners that you're going to turn over left and right. They are seasoned technicians that this is a passion, so you're going to have very low employee turnover in the business. Again, it's a very simple management model to really drive. And what I love the most is once you do those pre-sales and you create your reoccurring members, you have predictable reoccurring revenue happening in the business. We have owners coming out of the box doing over 200 members out of their first month and securing over $500,000 in unit volume for annual unit volume in terms of reoccurring monthly revenue that happens every 30 days in their first 30 days of soft opening. So we're experiencing incredible ramp-ups. A high percentage of our owners are positive cash flow from the moment they swing their doors open in this business. And lastly, as far as the franchise model, we're what I call a full fulfillment franchise opportunity, which simply means that we support our franchisees with every aspect of the business. So from locating a real estate location to site selection, lease negotiation, doing the market study, construction management, providing a 12-week grand opening marketing plan, an ongoing creative quarterly marketing campaign. This is a world-class franchisor, and they're providing support on every level for our franchisees. So, it's a really, neat brand. It's going to, be one of these legacy brands that you're going to see, we believe to be very, very sustainable. In terms of the investment, basically very simple. We're most markets, unless we're in Manhattan, New York, or San Francisco, California, we're 200 or less for the concept. Financial requirements we want to see are $100,000 in liquidity, $300 as net worth to be able to invest in a single unit. And typical all-in investment's about $150. That is really kind of a high-level overview of the brand and the business opportunity and how we're positioned. Happy to answer any questions if there's any time left. Or
the conference has been unmuted.
Certainly get my information from Christine.
Thank you very much, Lance. I just unmuted everybody, so if anybody has any questions for Lance or Angie, go ahead. Somebody's got something very loud in the background.
Someone got an infomercial.
Anyone? I don't know. Can everyone hear me?
I can, Christine.
I can.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody's very loud in the background. Okay. How about here's a question: How does everyone finance the investment?
I'll jump in for a second. Oh,
sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, very simple. With this one, we're on the SBA registry, so if someone wants to get funding, we have preferred lenders for that, and so it's very straightforward. On a $200,000 investment, they're going to need about $50,000 in a cash injection for 25%, and then the bank will finance the rest. Interest rate's about 6%. It's about a 10-year repayment, and go through that conversation more in unit economics, but it's very easy to get funding for these.
And very similar for Medici. For us, we need to see $210,000 liquid income coming into the household, debt-to-income ratio of 1.2%. The point is we want to see income coming into the household. We are on the SBA registry as well. We have a company that we deal with that's been able to get all of our SBA loans for Medici, so we have full support on that.
Great. Okay. Who helps find the real estate?
This is Angie at Medici. I'll jump in. Sure. We fully support on real estate. We have in-house people as well as we work with all the top national brokers across the country. So we will be supporting our franchisee, appointing you a local realtor that we work with for a location, and then we get on airplanes. So we fully support real estate as well.
Okay. Lance?
Yeah, very similar with Club Pilates. We have an in-house vice president of real estate, Richard Feinberg. Again, this is not his first rodeo. He was with Anthony on his previous endeavor. We work with the largest broker network, commercial broker network in the States, and so they have relationships with all the institutionalized landlords so that we can have that local presence in the marketplace. So once a franchisee commits to coming to a discovery day, we have them teed up so that we can really get that market survey going and get them hitting the ground sprinting, looking at the real estate. So a ton of support there from our side too.
Okay. Here's another one. How do franchisees find good employees? Angie?
Okay. I didn't know who was going to go first. Sure. Franchisees, how it works with our model for the most part is you're going to hire a general manager who's run a food operation, who's run a restaurant. That person is going to be interviewing most of the team members that will be coming on the team in the restaurant. You'll be overseeing that manager. So you'll be dealing with a seasoned manager from food operations who knows how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the Club Pilates side, actually Allison, the founder, really drives that program with her team. They have proper hiring practices in the market. They, not to get too far into the weeds, but basically they're boots on the ground, so they come out to the studio and live in the studio for about 2 weeks, and they drive the recruiting process. Keep in mind, you really don't need very many employees for this model. The manager in this model is going to be what we call a lead instructor, and so they're going to hold down some shifts as well as provide some light management to the 2 or 3 other instructors that we have in the studio, and then they'll execute the marketing tactics of the campaign. So it's a pretty simple, straightforward model. Again, the labor pool for this one already exists, so when we just kind of spark something in the marketplace, then we have a marketing strategy to let instructors know in the marketplace about career opportunities with Club Pilates.
Great. One more. How long does it take to find real estate to grand opening? You might as well go, Lance.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the webinar, we're averaging between 60 to 90 days to get to lease.
Okay. Angie?
Okay, and for Medici, it takes approximately 1 year to get open once you sign a franchise agreement. The big unknown is how long it takes to find that killer location, which is we're location driven, so that's very important to us. We don't want to rush that. So that's typical in any food retail is about a year to get open.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for either one?
I have a couple of questions. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so for example, the second one says cash necessary to open the first unit. I think it says $60K. So what does that cash go towards? Is that going towards building the actual facility, or like and what happens for remaining cost of actually building that facility? And I don't know I'm very new to this territory, so it may be a silly question, but I just want to understand that better.
I think you're referring maybe to the Club Pilates model. Let's just make it simple. Basically, if you've got a $200,000 investment, everything that's included in that investment is the franchise fee to secure your territory. It covers the build-out. It covers the purchase of all of your equipment, which is really more than half of the budget. It includes working capital to ramp the business up. So it's soup to nuts. Typically, it's like buying a house. If you bought a house for, let's say, $200,000, they would want to see that you put in about 25% down. And well, not always, depending on the loan, obviously. But for an SBA loan, they want about 25%. So that $50,000 is basically going to go towards your franchise fee and additional costs that you would have as you start to open the business.
Okay. So
did you have any other questions?
Yes.
Okay.
If you were to run this online, like what would you be? You're saying you would hire for the pizza place. I think you would hire a couple of people to manage and run the place, and same thing with the other one where you have a couple of people to instruct, right? How do you decide their salaries, and what kind of online duties do you have to do as the owner of the franchise?
This is Angie. You want me to jump in with the pizza first? Are you asking both of us, or are you referring to Lance?
Yeah, I'm asking both of you, yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thank you for the question. For us, in terms of team members, you're going to hire a general manager. That person typically is coming out of an Applebee's Outback Steakhouse. They're typically making $50,000 to $75,000 in salary, and the model fully supports that. Then from there, you're looking at mostly minimum wage team members. The only other two that are not are there's two more of a specialty, which are the fornio. That's the guy who's putting it in the fire and cooking it. That's a little bit more of a skill level. They're making a few dollars more over minimum wage, that position, as well as the stretcher, the guy who's stretching the dough. Those are the two more specialty higher end, but they're only usually $3 to $4 more over minimum wage for those two particular spots. Everybody else is minimum wage.
Okay.
And for Club Pilates, basically, again, you have really one manager, and then you have 2 to 3 instructors. The manager is a working instructor. They get paid a modest base, and then they have basically they get a percentage of gross revenues based on the studio. Is the typical financial model. So as an example, based on our FPRs, manager would start out making about $50,000 in this concept, and then your instructors are going to make anywhere from $20 to $60 per class that they teach, depending on occupancies, because it's incentive based. We don't have minimum wage employees in this model.
Okay. And do you have to have a manager? For example, if you want to run the place, not just as an owner, but also a manager yourself, Is that an option, or is that not recommended?
For Club Pilates, it's definitely an option.
For pizza, it all depends on your background. If you do not have any restaurant or food background, you will need a general manager to run your day-to-day food operation.
Okay. And if you do get a manager, like what kind of things you have to do online, like accounting and all that, or I mean, what kind of support what you have to offer as the owner, but you're not there, so.
So for the pizza brand, basically what the owner is doing is they're running the key performance indicators, brand standards, overseeing the manager, they're looking at the P&Ls, the financials, that type of thing is what you as the owner would be doing if you're not involved in the day-to-day food operations such as your general manager. And we have all systems in place to help manage the systems. And we have a full training program. We have an owner's training program, which is a week, and your general manager's training program is 4 to 8 weeks, depending on his skill level. So they'll cover all that in training. We're fully supportive on that.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Was that also for Lance or just for Angie?
That was a question for both folks. I mean, yeah. If you also want to answer it, that would be great. Yeah. For the.
I'm sorry. I didn't. It wasn't clear on the question. Could you say that again?
Oh, I was just wondering if you're handling this online as the owner, what would you be doing since you're not there every day, or maybe not, not even one day a week, or depends on like how often would you be required to be there in person, and if you're not there in person, how much time do you dedicate to this thing?
Yeah, initially in this model, if you're running it executive, you would probably be in the studio maybe once a week, holding manager meetings. If you were, there's not really a place for you in the day-to-day operations. Literally, if you will. I mean, as an executive model, really, you have kind of three components. You're going to manage the manager, which is a handful of hours a week. You're going to really manage your business by the numbers and the KPIs. We have a KPI dashboard and a web-based management system that disseminates information to you to allow you to do that. So that's a few hours a week. And then you or your manager would be executing some of the tactics from the marketing campaign. And that's really, again, without getting too far into the nuts and bolts, that's kind of the three buckets that you're really spending time in.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Any other questions, sir?
I think I'm okay for now. Are you going to be sharing? Are we going to get more details on the actual numbers and all, or?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send everyone the recording and my personal franchise assessment. Once you fill out the assessment, either franchisor can give you further information, financials, as soon as you fill out the assessment.
Okay.
Okay, so I will send everybody the information when we're done, the recording and the assessment. And if there's any questions, you can contact me. And hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions. Anyone else have any questions?
I had one. So
okay.
for the Club Pilates, it doesn't look like there's any current locations in New Jersey. Do you have any pending in, say, the Bergen County area, or is the market pretty much wide open at this point?
It's wide open. We've got a few what we call prospective franchisees going through our educational process right now, but we do not have any signed agreements. So today we're wide open.
Great, thanks.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I want to thank Lance and Angie. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I will follow up with all of you, and thank you very much, and good evening to all of you.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
Bye-bye.